Let's speak to government. Nasiri Ahmed Yate is the public relations officer for the Ministry of Roads and Highways. He joins us on the line. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. How did you get the drivers to suspend their strike? What exactly did you tell them? Hello. Okay, I think we've lost Nasir Ahmed Yate, who is PRO for the Roads Ministry. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Akosia will give us some more stories. No, I understand we have him back on the line. Now, the tanker drivers suspended or were on some sit-down strike, and indeed, we know from reports across the country that the strike was beginning to bite at some stations. LPG stations, for example, said they were running out of stock, which was getting big for a lot of people, including government, and government was getting uncomfortable with that, obviously. Now we have Nasri back on the line. Nasri Ahmed Yate, PRO for the Roads Ministry. I was asking, what did you tell them to get them back on the road? How did you get them to suspend their strike?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to explain one or two issues. I must place on record that the road in question, we had a contractor on it working on the road. You know, initially the road was very narrow, and technically we observed that there was a need to widen the road. And so what the contractor has been doing was to try to widen the road and build some bus culverts on the road.
But which road are you talking about? Because our information is that they are protesting. Yeah, they are protesting the access roads to the depots in Kumasi, Takrady, and Buipe. So it is not just the Tema one. Yeah,
I'm coming.
Okay.
You asked a question. Allow me to.
Okay, go ahead.
Please answer it. I'm talking about the toll road, the very road we went on today. So it was evident that the contractor has constructed 4 bus culverts. In fact, we met him on the last one, construction. What I want to establish is that construction is ongoing on the road. The challenge was that because the contractor, and it's peculiar to road construction, usually you have to construct the bus culverts and the drainage system before you start doing your fill-in, replacing the bad materials, and you come onto the main road. So what the contractor has been doing on the road was to build the bus culverts and construct the drainage. In doing that, the rain set in, and so the main road got bad, as we saw on videos that went viral. And so today we went and we had a conversation with them, and the minister has instructed the contractor to ensure that whilst he continues doing his normal routine work, that is building the road as per the specification of his contract, he should make sure that he also improves the riding surface of the existing road so that the tankers can apply the drivers can apply their trade without any hindrance. And so the minister gave them the assurance and then directed the contractor to make sure that he increases his the pace of work, get in more machines to improve the surface of the road, so that they can continue to do their work as the contractor, also does his work. They also mentioned that other depots in Kumasi, in Buipe, in Takrady also need some attention, and so the minister gave them the assurance. In fact, at the meeting, we made some calls to our engineers who will assess the situation, and God willing, by tomorrow morning, we undertake some immediate emergency works on those roads to improve the riding surface. So this is the conclusion that we came to after today's meeting.
Very well, but in my chat with the general secretary for the group just before you came on, he said the contractor indeed was in that meeting as well, but he made a point that he did not have money. What's the commitment of government that you release money to this contractor to execute the job as you have promised the drivers?
Well, government is committed to make sure that the road, the driving surface of the road is improved for the tankers to go back to work. And so that assurance has been given to them. As for the negotiation or the relationship between the government and the contractor, it's a standing relationship, and we know what the government knows what to do to get the contractor back to site, to continue doing his work. The most important thing here today is that government has given the commitment to the tanker drivers that from tomorrow going, in fact, from this evening, the contractor is going to increase the machines on the road and start improving the surface of the road. It's going to take about 3 weeks, and that was the timeline for the contractor to be able to improve the surface of the road. But as for the main road, to rebuild the road to the specification that is within the contract, is going to take about 6 months, and the contractor is going to stick to his work schedule. He's going to stick to that work schedule to work on the road, engineer the road, widen the road, and bring the road to asphalt finishing. That's one he's going to stick to his plan.
I see.
The temporary measures that he's going to add to it is to make sure that whilst he works on the box covers and the drainage system, he should at the same time improve the riding surface of the road during this rainy season to make sure that the tankers will have a smooth ride as they do their work.
Very well, but I mean, it's good they are getting back on the road and contractor getting back to work, etc. But what happened to maintenance? Many have asked that if we were maintaining the roads the way we ought to, we wouldn't have reached a point where the road will get so bad that tanker drivers would have to go on, actually embark on a strike to get government pushing things to work. What happened to maintenance?
I just said earlier on that the entire stretch has been given is on contract, and there's a contractor on the road. And so it's not that it is just this morning that government is pulling a contractor to go and work on the road.
No, I get that. I get that. But the point I'm making is that I get that there's a contractor on the road. That's fine. If the contractor was on the road, or whether he was on the road or not, I mean, and the tanker drivers still decided to go on strike, that's another matter. But I'm asking a different question, because the road could be bad, but with maintenance, at least it could be passable. We could use it whilst the main job is getting done. That's the point I'm just asking.
Yeah, I agree with you exactly. But as I was explaining, the contractor has a schedule. So in road construction, you move from point A to B. You see, now what is going to happen is that we are going to do B, try to do a bit of B whilst we do A. So it's like doing two things at the same time. But in the contractor scheme of work, he wanted to finish with the box covers and the drainage before tackling the main road. Now, due to the strike action, we've asked him to work simultaneously, increase the manpower, improve the surface, the driving surface, as he continued to do the other work. So that is what is happening. As for routine maintenance, it's a regular program of the ministry that we undertake routine maintenance. But as we said some weeks ago in our press statement, usually during the rainy season, in fact, I can say rains or water is the biggest enemy of road. So during the rainy season, it's obvious that if you have road network that has some cracks on it or potholes, and that they will develop, they will deteriorate, and you have this kind of situation on our hands.
Very well.
It's usual with the road sector, especially during the rainy season.
Very well.
And that is why a minute. That is why the ministry has a standby emergency maintenance unit that goes around to ensure that during the rainy season they try to check and handle some of these difficult situations that come onto our roads.
Very well. Thank you so much. Nasir Ahmed Yate, Public Relations Officer of the Roads Ministry. Thanks so much for speaking to us.